Good morning, loves. Happy Money Mindset Monday. Welcome to those of you who are new to this tribe. I'm so happy you're here. This one today is going to be very helpful no matter where you are at in terms of your level and what your income is and what you're bringing in, that every single entrepreneur needs to do this. Okay, so I'm going to give you practical action steps. You guys know I'm about mindset, soul, and strategy. So I'm going to bring it to you to share how to really create more abundance for yourself. And particularly, I want to focus on this next quarter. Okay, the year is divided into 4 quarters, and we're already done the first quarter. It's March. So let's go into the action steps. What I'm going to invite you to do, always, because money is such a big thing, right? We all have money shame and beliefs that are limiting when it comes to the concepts of money. And it is absolutely a collective unconscious around money. And it's the way that society has taught us how to go into relationship with money, which often isn't very healthy. Hi, Miss Twyla. Nice to see you. So the first step, I'm going to give you four areas to really, and I'm going to say steps to really focus on. Now, this is going to be a very general overview, of course, because then it's one thing to know what to do, but now it's your job to take what I share with you. Good morning, Priscilla, and implement it. If you absolutely are determined to make more money in this quarter and this year, this Facebook Live is going to really amplify that. Okay, and you guys, this is free. So the very first step is to get into a state of consciousness, of calm, of having your nervous system be as grounded and anchored as possible. So of course, I would suggest getting into a meditative state before doing anything that has to do with directly addressing and looking at your money situation. All right. We need to have a clear mind so that our inner critic is not driving the bus. That is so deeply important. Or where it's not cluttered in there, because if it's cluttered in there, the more likely we're going to allow our self-doubt and our limiting beliefs drive the bus. Good morning, Barbara. So please take some time to meditate before you do anything. That's step number 1. You need to get into a very calm state. And if it helps, meditation may not be a regular practice for you. Let me invite you that this is the key to success, because the key to success, and however you define it, okay, but the key to success is really calming your mind so that you can visualize, so that you can get really clear when you're connected with your highest self, with a higher power. And this is a spiritual practice that will allow you to really go into your life in a much more abundant way. And of course, when I say abundance comes in many different forms, including attracting opportunities, feeling more joyful, feeling excited. How can we be excited if we've got too much mind clutter, right? So take the time to practice. The top entrepreneurs, I believe it's like the world's top entrepreneurs, and don't quote me on this statistic, but it's something like 98% meditate. Okay, and it's the first thing they do. Hi, good morning, Mary. To really help themselves move forward in their business and their life. So meditation and the power of it is huge. Use guided meditation if you need to. I started that way for probably a good couple years. And sometimes I still like to be guided. However, now I have trained myself so that what I really feel called to do is call in my spirit guides. And I call in God. That's who, for me, I believe in multiple faiths, and for me, God is who I really connects with. I also call upon my goddesses, and I'm a little bit of an alien, so so I call upon the galactic creatures are here to support me. I call upon my spirit animal lion. I have a lion back there, but it really is. It's asking your spiritual team, who is always here, to support you, and they're waiting for you to ask. That's all you got to do. And there's something that as you keep this practice up, that it starts to really, you feel it so loudly. And trust me, I am a walking testimonial for this. Okay. If you met me like 11 years ago and before that, heck no, I would never be saying any of this that's coming out of my mouth. All right. So it's really getting connected so that you are aligned. And even if you don't quite know and believe in the spiritual world, we're all made of energy. So it's really getting connected. If we want to bring in more of my psychology and neuroscience background, we're connecting with calming the emotional brain, which sits back here. Our brain stem is where when we feel stressed, and let's face it, money brings on a lot of stress, we go into fight, flight, or freeze response. And so we don't want that when you are checking out and going into your relationship with money, or else that's an abundance block. That's a client attraction block. All right. So it's really important you face money and you go into a healthy, loving relationship with it. And it is a lot of work, okay? And there's no easy way around it. And I want to say it also invites, it's all inner work. That's really what it is. All right. So good morning, Trina. So meditation is the first step. I'm actually going to also bring this up too. This is something I have been doing for the last very much part of my practice every night, is playing binaural beats, which is when I'm sleeping, I put on YouTube and I search for binaural beats, which is like meditative music, and it speaks to your subconscious around whatever it is that you're trying to work through. So I play a lot of abundance binaural beats. I also play joyful binaural beats. I really like the abundance ones though. Hi, Audrey. So, okay, so the second step, now we're actually going to do some practical action steps. Once your state is calm, right? You've calmed your emotional brain, your logical brain is online, you are having that observer hats, you're in your highest self, you're in your in your most grounded warrior self. This is your most powerful place and it's always available to you. Now you are in a state, okay, in a conscious state where you are becoming an observer to your inner critic, to when your body starts to tighten up and contracts, and to the part of you that's very expansive. Okay, so this is the kind of work I do with my clients when we dive in deeper, help you really stay in this. Good morning, Aurora. Hi, Virgie. Hi, Jen. All right, so once you're in this higher self state, now you go into looking at your money. So this means, I hope that you guys have a cash flow sheet for your business. So you're looking at, this is, if you don't, this is about looking at, I use Excel, it's just pretty straightforward. It's a spreadsheet that has all my, I track all my incoming money coming in, and I also track my expenses. And I track, with every single client, when that money came in, and I track also who's owing. I track like book sales. I track everything. Now, it's really important you track everything, because when you're reviewing, you're looking at, I hope you guys also set goals. So if you don't, please write this down. Have a cash flow sheet, set goals. Okay, when you set a goal, and typically I would say set a financial goal for the year, and then you break it down into 4 quarters. And then from there, you break each quarter down into the 4 weeks and then into the week, so that you get really clear what are you aiming for in terms of a money goal, and then what activities are going to help you meet that money goal. All right. And so each quarter may not be even. All right. But it gives you a good idea of, because this gets a little bit more complex. I'm not going to go into detail, but sometimes you have a launching phase, and then sometimes you have a building phase, right? So when you're building, and then you have a launch, and then you have a sell phase. So there's all these, this is why like the quarters may not always be even. Okay, but at least it will give you an idea, and you look at all your business activities. So that's getting a little complicated. I go deeper with my clients in that. So let's pause there and come back to review what your goal was for your quarter. Now set a new goal if you haven't already have a goal for this quarter. So don't worry if you're like Roz, okay. So set a goal for this quarter, for next 3 months. Okay, what is it that you want to create for yourself and bringing in financially? Now look at them, your last quarter. So in order to be successful, move forward, we need to do something called Mindsight. Okay, one of my coaches, Rand Woodshouts, taught me this when it comes to personal development, looking at like a situation that wasn't maybe so favorable, but instead of looking at things as in hindsight, use Mindsight. So what that means is you're conscious about looking back at, okay, what were the wins? What are the lessons, and how can I use those lessons to bring them forward into my life and business, right? So when it comes to looking back at your last 3 months, okay, what have we, when you look back at, I guess it's still the first quarter, guys, sorry, like where's my mind? Anyways, but this is good for you prepping for your next quarter. Okay, so in the last 2 months, look at what has been working. What's been generating more income for you, and what has been not working. What activities have you been engaging in that aren't really bringing in money, and it feels like all your efforts aren't paying off? All right, so either you need tweaking in that, or you need to delegate it. So what I mean by that is oftentimes we try, if we're not a graphic designer and we try to do it ourselves, oh my God, that takes you out. And it doesn't look as professional as if you were just to hire a graphic designer to do the work. If you're on your budget, check out Fiverr, Fiverr.com, or Upworks. There's a lot of contractors on there that are budget friendly. Okay. So when you're looking back, also, like, are you doing your own admin? Don't do that. Okay. Even though you could, you should be hiring someone out to support you in the admin pieces, because your time and energy needs to be focused on income producing activities. So that may be going out to network. That might be, because again, this is like making the connections and the relationships. That could be doing a Facebook Live in your Facebook group, right? That could be getting on discovery calls. That could be doing podcasts. That could be going out to speak. Like all the activities that require you to be in your zone of genius, you need to show up in. And then everything that, even though you can do, you shouldn't be doing, because you're better off staying in alignment with your zone of genius and hiring people out at a much, it'll cost you more if you try to do everything yourself. All right. And I see that with entrepreneurs. They try to do everything themselves. Invest your time and your energy into your income producing activities. So, okay, what else I want to say about this? So be really clear. If you get distracted, you need to be really clear, time block things. Okay, so I know that I can tell when I get distracted that I'm like always on, I'm on social media, and it can be too distracting, especially if we are online marketers and we're we work internationally, we work location freedom, then it can be really distracting. Social media can be really distracting, where you get all these notifications. So time block when you're going to come in. I'm not perfect at that, because I'll admit, but time block on it and it will help you stay aligned. Okay. Number 3. Hi, Donna. Okay. So now this is about, we were just talking about energy. So energy is, actually activities is number 3. So this is number 4. Energy is really about your mindset, right? Like I just said, stay aware of what is starting to take you out. Stay aware of, being in this state of like noticing when you're looking at certain parts of your business, even as you're listening to me, what parts like freak you out? What parts make you contract? What parts are like overwhelming you? And stay curious to it. Don't go into it and don't become it, because that's a limiting version of you. And when you become that, you immediately block. And you immediately start going to more procrastination, more self-sabotage. This is about breathing and trusting that life is happening through you and for you. And whenever we get triggered, here's a beautiful opportunity for you to work through. And that's seriously how I start to see things. When I get triggered, of course, allow yourself to feel the pain. It's really important to move through the emotions and honor them. Don't spiritual bypass, okay? You need to move through the emotions. And then once you're through, as you're going through them, you can look back. Mindsight, right? Okay, what is the lesson I'm supposed to learn here? And one of them absolutely is, okay, there's stuff for me to look through here and learn something. So I can, once you work through something, it no longer becomes as strong of a trigger. Might be a little bit of a trigger still, but it doesn't take over. Okay. So when you are looking at your money energetically, you need to be having bold conversations, and not just energetically, but actually, right? Physically. So looking at who owes you money, and you need to address that. You need to actually address who is owing you money, have conversations with them about it, okay? And this is very empowering. Don't avoid it, because the more you avoid it, you're telling stories in your head. It's just a story. And your current reality is a reflection of what's happening in your mind. So if somebody owes you money, that's a fact. Somebody owes you money, that's a fact. So you now need to go and have a conversation with them about that. That's it. It's not emotional. They may be emotional about it, and then they're going to go into their stories about it and all that. You don't have control over that. What you have control over is staying grounded and anchored and saying, okay, how are we going to create a win-win around this? Like, you owe me money. That is a fact. And how are we going to create a win-win so that you're not taken out? Now, I can't control that. You might get taken out, right? I always invite people to have a higher conscious relationship, conversation about money. Okay, this is not personal, and it's also necessary. This is about staying anchored and grounded. Hi, Aura. Okay, and then who do you owe money to? Who do you owe money to? Whether it's in your personal life and professional life. All right, if you're withholding money, then that is you blocking abundance. What is that story? Why are you withholding money? Okay? You need to face what's going on. You need to keep the flow of abundance going. But if you're withholding, there's something there for you to look at. And I know it's hard, but trust me, you guys, avoidance just compounds more problems for you. I'm certain that you don't want that, right? So start addressing it, because as you do it, as you face whatever it is that's the problem, you will realize so much more. It's so much more. This is just a doorway into deeper aspects of yourself, and you will notice how much you will show up differently as you go through this brave portal, and it's going to affect your impacts. It's going to impact you more positively in all areas of your life. All right. So it's like really looking at what is that thing that you're withholding. and in this case, your relationship with money. Who are you owing money to? And it's time to look at that. Okay? Because guess what? If you don't face this, what are you going to manifest into your business? People owing you money. If you don't have those conversations, what's going to happen? You're going to attract clients who can't afford to pay you. You're going to attract clients who don't value you. Okay, I'm speaking from personal experience. All right, so if you don't value yourself, then you're going to attract people who don't value you. All right, so it's really important that you look at your money and know it's not easy. This is why it's really important to have a money team, a coach who can support you working through this, because it is really, really important. And that's the other thing. Money is important. Don't say it's not. Guess what's going to happen? The universe is going to be like, oh, you don't think it's important? Then we're not going to give you any abundance, right? Money is absolutely important. And here's why. So if you're getting triggered by me saying that, there's the story. What are the stories you're telling yourself? We love money because money brings the experiences we deeply desire. It's a tool. It's a currency of value. It's a currency of love. I want you to get into this different states around money. And it took me some time to get here. Absolutely. And every time I up level, you guys hear me say this, it's more money work. It's more inner work. That's really about the inner richness, right? This is really about you're being exposed in a really beautiful way to an opportunity to dive deeper into yourself. Okay, can you see that it's not just a heady place? It's not just practical action steps. I'm giving you practical action steps, but it is a whole state of being when it comes to abundance. You literally, energetically get aligned with attracting money and being so bold around money conversations. It's really important. All right. Mind blown. Yes, Virgie, awesome love. Okay, so I'm going to sum this up. All right. So number 1, steps to getting aligned with setting yourself up for success for the next quarter. My God, I was a month ahead, but hey, always better be ahead than not, right? Okay. So setting yourself up. So meditate. And there's no right or wrong way to meditate. You find whatever that thing is that's going to help you. It could be a movement meditation, it could be a walking meditation, but it could be a running one. Running is very meditative. It could be just sitting there. It could be a yoga pose, yoga poses flowing through. But the most important, the point of meditation is to get you anchored into a higher conscious place, a place where you can be an observer to all parts of yourself, right? You're calm, you're grounded, and you can watch yourself without judgment. So number 1 is meditation. Get into a state of consciousness before you do any money, actually practical action steps into money. Okay. Number 2, review your year so far. Review your quarter. What goal did you set? How are you doing in that goal? No judgment. Don't judge yourself. You're going to take yourself out if you judge yourself. All right. Okay. Review. And then look specifically at what you're doing. All right. What's working, what's not. Number 3 is activities. So, looking at, that's number 3, what's working, what's not. And number 4 is energy. Right? Who do you owe money to? Who owes you money? Address that. Have conversations. You need to have brave, bold conversations around money. Ground yourself. It's factual. It's not an emotional thing. Right? And if you're really struggling with that, that's why you hire people to support you in doing that. All right. And some people choose that. That's totally fine. But I still think you need practice to have those conversations, or else it's still going to catch up. It's still going to catch up at some point. Okay. You need to still be in a fully abundant relationship with money, and it's having those conversations with your people around it. No emotions. It's factual. Okay. So I hope that this was supportive to you guys. Let me know what your takeaways were. Where are you really focusing on? I want to know how, what this in this video, what helps you get unstuck, or what are you really going to take away from this? You guys know I love hearing about your takeaways. All right, take care.